Testing one, two. Yes. Hit. Testing one, two. Hit. Test one, two. Hit. Check one, two. Hit. Test one. Test one, two. Test. Hit. Hit. Check one, two. Hit. Check one, two. Testing. Test. 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 Second. Second. Then check. Check one, two. Testing one, two.
One, two. This mic, one, two. This mic, one, two. This one, two. This mic, one, two. This mic, one, two. What was mic? This one, two. This mic, one, two. This one, two. This mic, one, two. Coba suara satu dua tiga. This mic, one, two. This one, two. This one, two. This mic, one, two. This one, two. This mic, one, two. What is mic? This one, two. Flash suara 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Testing mic 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all. Check, check, check. 1, 2. That's all. Check 1, 2. Coba 1, 2, 3. Testing mic 1, 2.
Cuban suara 1. Tes. Tes.
Dear guests, the event will begin shortly. Please be seated and kindly set your handphone to silent mode throughout the program in respect to others. Your cooperation is highly appreciated. Thank you. We will now play you the evacuation video in case of emergency. I repeat, we will now play you the evacuation video in case of emergency.
May we have your attention, please? This is a public safety announcement. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Welcome to International Islamic University Malaysia, Kuantan campus. You are now in the Grand Hall.
Upon the sound of a fire alarm or when evacuation order has been issued, please evacuate the building immediately. Emergency situations can be triggered by the presence of potential hazards such as fire and natural disaster.
This hall has 9 main emergency exits.
Please take notes on emergency evacuation routes, locations of exit doors and staircases. Exit signs will remain illuminated at all time. Please take a moment to locate the nearest exit to you. During evacuation process, please remain calm and walk to the nearest exit according to predetermined evacuation routes. For faster and safer evacuation process, please refrain from talking and running. Once you are outside the building, please proceed to the nearest assembly point and wait for further instruction. Thank you for your attention. This message is brought to you by IIUM Safety and Health Committee. Safety is as simple as A, B, C. Always be careful.
Thank you. I now would like to welcome Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Hanikinik Muhammad, Deputy Chairman of IIUM World No Tobacco Day 2019, to give a talk on harmful effects of tobacco products. Please welcome Dr. Hanikinik.
you see baseball players suka chew, kemudian apa tu dia, apa tu budak tu kan, dia chew a stick. Itu dia. They also use cut Japanese. Siapa ada nenek-nenek atau moyang dulu-dulu yang ingat dia racik, lepas tu berubah dengan sendiri ataupun dia apa panggil sentil kalau katakan songeng, dia songeng dekat tu. Shisha mungkin not to blame our Middle Eastern counterparts, but it's actually a culture from the Middle Eastern brought to Malaysia along with the nasi Arab, nasi Yemen and whatnot. So it comes together, they flourish, they start to be very popular. Unfortunately also popular among youth. Sebab dia buat sebagai aktiviti sosial dan berrekreasi, beriadah. Dia berapa lama lepas tu dia isap sikit-sikit 1 jam dan sebagainya. Ya, kita kafe shisha. Tapi ada lagi produk-produk lain, these are more popular. Next one. Yang ni yang mendatangnya dalam bila penyaman about 5-6 years ago in Malaysia. Of course, dia historically electronic cigarette atau rokok elektronik ni dia dicipta oleh beberapa orang. Salah seorang dia ahli farmasi di Taiwan. Tujuan dia cipta e-cigarette ni sebenarnya untuk encourage people to smoking. That's the actual purpose. Ruyan. So dia develop e-cigarette ni sebab bapak dia kena lung cancer. So he wants to help his father with smoking by producing electronic cigarettes. Dalam 2014 macam tu dia very popular in Malaysia. We did a study 2016, Prof. Jamal and the team. We did a study nationwide. We looked at the prevalence of e-cigarette use among adults. Yeah, quite high actually. About 600,000 currently were using e-cigarettes at the time, 2016. Now, dia ada beberapa generation. Generation pertama tu dapat macam cigarette, kedua tu dia dah ubah sikit, generation ketiga dah mod, keempat dah jadi benda lain dah. Sekarang dia dah ada nano stick, macam-macam. Ya, jewel tu yang dalam pot, dia deliver dia punya liquid tu very fast and high concentration, mimicking cigarettes. So dia punya nawai itu atau niat asal tu dah jadi lain, bukan untuk membantu orang berhenti merokok, tapi nak beri nikmat as if you are smoking. What's public health advocates punya concern is because e-cigarette ni akan menjadi gateway to smoking, because youth, particularly as in studies shown in the United States, ramai remaja yang tidak merokok asalnya, dia start testing or dia nak experience Juul. Ya, Juul ni very nice flavor, dia dah nampak macam thumb drive. Kita tak ada gambar dia. So kalau kita ada anak, kita bawa thumb drive tu check ya, betul thumb drive ke, or is it electronic cigarette. Okay. Dan graph kat bawah tu memang tak clear, just to show comparatively. If you look on your left tu, paling kan you see a graph dengan line yang tunjukkan paras nikotin yang dihasilkan or produced by cigarettes. On the right would be the different plasma level of nicotine based on the concentration of the nicotine in the liquid of the preparation, because the liquid can come in many concentration. Ada yang 8, ada 16, ada 32, ada 48 dan sebagainya. So Juul, for example, delivers very high concentration, higher than nicotine level delivered by cigarettes. Yeah? So that's the danger with the vaping from Juul and the electronic cigarettes product. Why are we concerned? Sebab the two characteristics yang akan menyumbang kepada kebergantungan terhadap nikotin adalah kecepatan nikotin sampai ke otak, how fast does nicotine get to the brain, And the second criterion is how much dia boleh sampai ke otak. And cigarette very efficient, boleh hantar nikotin ke tapak tindakan to receptors in the brain within 10 seconds. Very fast. Doctors know that if you inhale cigarettes, you will get the effect almost instantaneously. And secondly, because of the high concentration. So these two criteria contribute to dependence from nicotine. Dan if electronic cigarette pun dah mimicking this, yeah? So therefore, they will be producing dependence similar to cigarettes. So anak-anak kita yang mula berjinak-jinak dengan e-cigarette ni, dia berisiko untuk menjadi nicotine dependent dan higher risk of using cigarettes. And it sama ada dia menjadi dual users, dia guna dua-dua. Electronic cigarette dia hisap, rokok pun dia hisap. Lepas tu dia akan graduate lah ke keadaan-keadaan yang lain. Yeah? Next one. The brain is very sensitive or having high activity atau tahap apa ya? Yeah, terhadap nikotin tu is very sensitive to nicotine. Kalau otak yang tak pernah hisap rokok, elok je kalau dia sampai. Dia otak tu akan very receptive towards nicotine, and it only takes 3 cigarettes. Kau tengok gambar ni kan? Gambar keluar sekejap. Kau tak ada bawah. Ada screen dia. Kalau tengok yang paling kanan tu, kalau otak yang bagus, otak keluarnya hijau. Belah kiri maknanya hijau tu, otak tu belum dioccupy oleh nikotin. Bila orang tu hisap few puffs, mula occupy the receptors in the brain, sampai kan hingga 3 cigarettes, dah hampir keseluruhan reseptor tu dipenuhi oleh nikotin. It only takes 3 cigarettes to occupy almost all the receptors in the brain. Tak banyak kan? Only 3 cigarettes to start the addiction. Okay? That's very powerful. Next slide. Segala mak datuk lah kan. Tapi kalau kita tanya what's the function of a cigarette, tobacco industry, why it exists, to produce cigarettes that would deliver nicotine. Now the next question that I am going to ask you to think about is, why are there thousands and thousands of chemicals in a cigarette if the function is to deliver nicotine? Tak boleh ke letak nikotin je, dia tak daun tembakau? Yeah? The answer is not as straightforward as you may think, but in a simple way, kenapa rokok tu ada terlalu banyak bahan kimia is to ensure concentration possible. Ubat ni deliver nicotine, tapi dia deliver in lower concentration and slower fashion. Therefore, addiction is almost non-existent. Yeah? So kena faham this concept. Nanti orang kata, oh habis tu kenapa farmasis ke doktor bagi ubat tu berganti nikotin, bila nak treat saya berhenti merokok bagi nikotin juga. Tak bahaya ke? Nanti saya addicted pula dengan nikotin from ubat. The characteristics of delivery itu different. Would be first nicotine. Second is tar. Third is carbon monoxide. The tar is from pembakaran bahan organik. Daun tembakau is bahan organik. Okay? Dan tar ni kita akan relate nanti dengan efek dia which is cancer. Main effect of tar ni sama dengan tar jalan ya. It's the same tar that's produced when we make roads. Our roads and highways. It's the same tar. You distill or you burn organic materials at very high temperature. Okay? You produce tar. And at the same time, burning of organic materials would produce carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide adalah gas beracun. Tubuh kita memerlukan oksigen dan membuang atau bila kita exhale tu, we get rid of carbon dioxide. Bila masuk gas carbon monoksida, dia akan mengambil alih tempat oksigen yang patutnya dibawa oleh sel darah merah. Our red blood cells dalam badan kita, fungsi dia membawa oksigen. So kalau dia bawa gas beracun, apa berlaku pada sel? They will die. They will asphyxiation, tak dapat bernafas. Proses pernafasan tak dapat berlaku, sel akan mati. Kalau efek dia begitu signifikan. Kalau sel mati, seterusnya there will be effect on the tissues and then organs. Sebab itulah boleh dapat pelbagai penyakit termasuk penyakit cardiovascular, cerebrovascular. Kalau lelaki, penyakit yang paling ditakuti apa, Dr. Sufian? Penyakit yang paling ditakuti lelaki?
Malfunction.
Erectile dysfunction. Ya, sebab tak cukup oksigen. Ya, because blood vessels perlu oksigen. Bawa oksigen kan, bawa sel darah. Kalau tak berdarah, sel darah tak bawa oksigen, very sensitive kan. So tak berfungsi. And out of the 7,000 chemicals identified, ni termasuk arsenik. Arsenik, you tahu kan kita guna untuk bunuh orang. Methanol tu because you want to have rapid burning at high temperature. Methanol, bahan bakar. Apa lagi? Toluene, ammonia. Ammonia ada Clorox. Ustaz Muhammad ni punya jubah putih ni dia guna Clorox tak? Ustaz, sorry. Do you use bleach to get this white colour of your jubah? No. Tapi dalam rokok ada Clorox bleach, ada ammonia. Bahan pemutih, peluntur that you use also to clean toilets. Kan? But it's added on purpose in the cigarette manufacturing sebab ammonia ni, as you may know, some of you may know, dia akan menaikkan pH of the environment. And why this is important? Sebab nikotin is acid sensitive. Untuk penyerapan maksimum, dia perlu environment yang berakali. So ammonia akan make sure the environment is more alkaline than acidic supaya nikotin tak terion. Kalau nikotin dalam environment acidic, dia akan terion. Chemicals yang terion or ionized chemicals would not be absorbed. Ni farm tech tahu sangat lah ni ya. So most of the chemicals are added knowingly with knowledge because cigarettes are highly researched. Duit banyak dilaburkan untuk research ya. So it's a very high technology product. Okey? Dah? Sampai dah? Okey, beres. So, slide terakhir. Because of the chemicals, there are more than 20 diseases. Yang paling obvious would be all sort of cancers, kan? Cardiovascular, respiratory. Tapi ada juga yang not so obvious, termasuklah osteoporosis, diabetes, tuberculosis dan sebagainya. Saya berharap pendedahan sedikit ini akan memberikan sedikit pengetahuan so that we can relate or we can advise and help our fellow men and women, mostly men lah ya, smoking, the dangers of tobacco products, whatever it is. Tak payah compare lah, macam semalam ada soalan ke, is it cerut safer than shisha, is it safer than cigarettes? Secara amnya, semua produk tembakau berbahaya. Dia ada different risk, tapi dia berkait dengan cara produk itu digunakan. Kalau chewing tobacco, increase oral cancer. Kalau hisap shisha dengan katalah curut, increase nicotine, tar and carbon monoxide because more tobacco. Tapi yang paling evil, the most evil will still be manufactured cigarettes. Anything else is probably less evil, tapi still evil. Macam itulah orang suka tanya, is it safer for me to use e-cigarettes? Jawapan saya senang je. Still evil, tapi less evil. Okay, wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Thank you Dr. Aniki. Maybe Dr. Aniki perokok-perokok ni dia ingat bleach yang dalam lokok tu boleh mencerahkan jantung dan paru-paru. Maybe. Okay, Rector will be coming shortly. Can male academicians and senior officers fill up the front seats? Nampak kosong tak cantik. Can we do that? Ushers, can you help? Can usherettes, tolong help them to usher them to the front seats. Thank you. Gentlemen, kalau boleh duduk belah kanan, sekejap lagi UMC members akan fill up the right row. Right column. And then senior females, kalau boleh nak ke depan pun boleh. Teman-temankan dean kita kat depan ni. Okey, Rector nak naik shortly, cepat. Kalau boleh kita move cepat. Ladies please. Ke depan, tak apa, boleh je ke depan. Terima kasih Dr. Karimah. Dalam keadaan yang sarat tu, Dr. Karimah boleh bangun ya, ladies. Dalam keadaan sarat. And what's your excuse? Thank you. Okay, while waiting for the rector to come up, I have some housekeeping announcement to make. After this launching of IIUM World No Tobacco Day, we have another launching, which is at the banquet hall. It's the launching of IIUM Poison Center. The expected guest is only 50 guests. I hope senior academicians can go downstairs after the IIUM World No Tobacco Day launching ni. We join the IIUM Poison Center launching. Boleh? Okay, thank you so much. Announcing the arrival of Professor Emeritus Tan Sri Datuk Zulkifli Abdul Razak, Honorable Rector, International Islamic University of Malaysia, and Puan Sri Masrah Abidin, followed by the university top management. Please be seated. Please remain standing, ladies and gentlemen, as we are about to play Malaysia National Anthem, an IIUM song.
Let's lead the way and lighten the future. Share the wisdom to the spirit of Islam. Revelation and reason. We shall excel, we shall prevail. Merging faith and knowledge, we, the Khalifa, we will fulfill the amanah. Together we make the world a better place forever. Expand the culture of Iqra. IUM is to realize the meaning of Ramadan al-Amin. Together we make the world a better place forever. Expand the culture of Iqra. IUM is to realize the meaning of mercy to all worlds for
Thank you. You may now be seated. Honorable Rector, Professor Emeritus Tan Sri Datuk Zulkifli Abdul Razak, and Puan Sri Masrah Abidin, Prof. Dr. Ahmad Hafiz Zulkifli, Deputy Rector, Responsible Research and Innovation, Prof. Dr. Kamaruzzaman Yunus, Campus Director, IIUM Kuantan, and also the Chairman of IIUM World No Tobacco Day 2019, UMC members, Datuk Wan Hilmi Wan Muhammad Kamal, the Executive Director of Development Division, Yang Mulia Raja Badrul Hisham, Raja Muhammad Ali, the Legal Advisor of IIUM, Associate Professor Dr. Cik Suraya Mat Zain, Dean Kuliah of Pharmacy, flagship holder of Smoke-Free Campus, Tuan Haji Shafiq Hamlan Abdul Hamid, the Director of Pahang State Department of Chemistry, Malaysia, distinguished guests, Professor, Associate Professors, Doctors, brothers and sisters. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, and blessings be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family and his companions. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to wish you a very good morning and welcome to the launching of IIUM World No Tobacco Day 2019. World No Tobacco Day is an annual event to raise the awareness on the harmful and deadly effects of tobacco use and second-hand smoke exposure, and to discourage the use of tobacco in any form. Without further ado, let us seek blessings on this lovely morning with dua recitation. With that, I'd like to invite Brother Azam Fauzi Muhammad Said to recite the dua. Tafadhal, Brother Azam.
الفاتحة. أعوذ من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. وقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين سبحان الله رب العرش العظيم والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم إنا نسألك خير هذا المجلس أوله وآخره. Almighty Allah, Lord most merciful, most generous, bless this launching of World No Tobacco Day with your pleasure and mercy. O Allah, Lord of bounties infinite, grace us with your divine guidance and assistance, that our work and deeds be done in completeness and excellence. Assist us, O Allah, in fulfilling our obligations and attaining your pleasure. O Allah, Lord most gracious, reward on our behalf this ceremony for their contributions to the student, staff and ummah, with the blessing of your guidance, your tawfiq in their endeavors and gospel prosperity. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. تقبل الله منا ومنكم.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alamin. Shukran, Brother Azam. Brothers and sisters, members of the audience, as we are all aware that Kuliah of Pharmacy is the flagship holder of the Smoke-Free Campus, I therefore would like to invite the Dean of the Kuliah of Pharmacy herself, Associate Professor Dr. Cik Suraya Mat Zain, to give a welcoming remark. Please welcome her.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yang berbahagia Prof. Emeritus Tan Sri Datuk Zulkifli Abdul Razak, Honorable Rector of IIUM, and Puan Sri Masrah binti Abidin. Professor Dr. Ahmad Hafiz Zulkifli, Deputy Rector, Responsible Research and Innovation, Professor Dr. Kamaruzaman Yunus, Campus Director, IIUM Kuantan, and also the Chairman of IIUM World No Tobacco Day 2019, UMC members, Datuk Wan Muhammad Hilmi Wan Muhammad Kamal, the Executive Director of Development Division, Yang Mulia Raja Badrul Hisham Raja Muhammad Ali, the Legal Advisor of IIUM, Tuan Haji Shafiq Hamlan Abdul Hamid, the Director of Pahang State Department of Chemistry, Malaysia, honorable professors and members of academic and administrative staff, students of IIUM, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. All praise be to Allah, the Almighty, creator of the heaven and the earth. Peace and blessing be upon our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his companions and immediate families, as well as those who follow the right path. Let us thank Allah for his blessing that we are all gathered here in this grand hall for the launching of World No Tobacco Day in conjunction with the Kuliah of Pharmacy flagship of a smoke-free campus. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, here I would like to share some statistics on smoking. They may just be numbers, but they tell a damning and tragic tale. Smoking is the single biggest preventable cause of death. It claims 7 million lives each year. Last century, tobacco killed 100 million people worldwide. This century, 1 billion people will die from tobacco-related diseases. So more than half of those deaths will be in Asia. Why? Because Asia has the most smokers, the highest rate of smoking, and the fastest increase of smoking uptake. Locally, about 20,000 Malaysians die every year from tobacco-related diseases. The figures are astounding, but what do they mean? Okay, in starkest terms, these figures mean millions of cases of lung cancer, throat cancer, heart disease, and a myriad of other fatal diseases directly caused by smoking. Surely, we can all agree that more needs to be done to address the death toll from combustible tobacco. Countries must consider Article 2.1 of the WHO Framework Convention on Tobacco Control, which states that in order to better protect human health, parties are encouraged to implement measures beyond those required by this convention and its protocol. So we must save lives by ending the age of the cigarette. Just like the Avengers, we too need to focus toward the end game of tobacco. Okay? So one of the evidence-based strategies is to expand and enforce smoke-free areas. IIUM, being a gazetted smoke-free area under the control of tobacco product regulations, is seriously looking into this issue as it touches many components of the Sustainable Development Goals and, more importantly, the Maqasid al-Sharia. Hence, having the smoke-free campus flagship under the Kuliah of Pharmacy is indeed a step in the right direction. This provides the impetus towards increasing awareness regarding not only dangers of tobacco use, including cigarettes, shisha, and electronic cigarettes, but also offers help in the form of smoking cessation service. So far, a number of activities have been conducted by the Kuliah of Pharmacy to facilitate the flagship, which include seminars and certifications on smoking cessation services to healthcare providers. A few more activities coming in the near future, including staff multidisciplinary quit smoking clinics involving various healthcare professionals, such as pharmacists, medical officers, dentists, and nurses. So on behalf of Kuliah of Pharmacy, I would like to congratulate and thank our Honorable Tan Sri Rector and the campus director for supporting this flagship, as well as the whole team members currently led by Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Haniki Nik Muhammad. I would also like to thank all committee members from various KCDIOs, Daya Bersih, sponsor and exhibitors, staff and students who are here today, and also the team from Educare for helping us make this event a success. Do visit the booth at the back for health screening and information about smoking and cessation, among others. So those who are interested to quit smoking can register themselves at the Family Health Clinic booth. So in conclusion, allow me to remind all of us again that ending the completely preventable tobacco epidemic is a human right that the world can overcome this century by implementing measures that decrease smoking. Last but not least, Let us all aspire for a smoke-free campus toward a smoke-free future and smoke-free world. So choose health, not tobacco. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Su. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, to officiate this blissful ceremony, I'd like to humbly invite our Honorable Rector, Professor Emeritus Tan Sri Datuk Zulkifli Abdul Razak, to give the opening speech. Please welcome Tan Sri.
Terima kasih. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. La haula wala quwata illa billah. Saudara-saudari penghuni majlis, rakan-rakan saya Profesor Hafiz, Profesor Kamar Zaman, Dekan Pharmacy, long time friend Haniki, a long way back we started this war against tobacco. Alhamdulillah it spread here. Ahli-ahli lembaga pengurusan universiti, hadirin sekalian, brothers and sisters. Let me first of all thank Allah Subhanahu wa Taala for giving us the opportunity to meet again after a long time not coming here, and also to thank you for supporting this whole idea of a smoke-free campus, not only within Kuantan, but of course all over IIUM. This is a flagship program that we certainly applaud and support, because I think it means very much in terms of the maqasid that we talked about. Yeah? If we talk about maqasid in the context of protecting life, by not smoking, we are already protecting life. Yeah? If we talk about protecting intellectual function, certainly smokes will also free you from this intoxicant that influence your mind. If you talk about lineage ataupun future generation, we find that now tobacco is going into the lower age. People at 15 and 17, 7 years old are beginning to smoke, and including girls at the same time. So here again another one. You're talking about wealth. Yeah, we are preserving wealth. When you stop smoking, there's a lot more things that we can do with money. And certainly at the end of the day, it's about faith, because the Quran itself talks about we must get away from anything that can intoxicate the mind and stuff of this nature. So it runs very well in the context of Makasih Sharia. It's not just about United Nations want to do this, it's not just about WHO want to do this, or the campus want to do this. Islam wants us to do this at the same time. And therefore this becomes, I think, a very crucial ibadah to make it happen. And Alhamdulillah, we are already making the steps to make this a realization within the campus and the whole university per se. Before I dwell a little bit more on this, I would like also to congratulate the campus in Kuantan, and particularly in the context of flagship. Although I am in Gombak most of the time, but I receive a lot of information as far as Kuantan is concerned, and it looks as though most of the flagship in Kuantan is running very, very well in the context of making it a unique experience. Yeah, we are now planning, I think, 3 or 4 of the flagships in Kuantan to be one of the dominant flagship within the university as we moved on into its implementation from now on until whenever it is ready to be launched as such. We are looking at misalnya the Malay manuscript. I think this is something which is very unique, that we want to raise the profile so that everybody knows about the Malay medical manuscript that we seems to keep, and how do we then translate this into something that could benefit health per se. I think this is an important initiative, because we are not only looking at modern medicine, we are also looking at traditional medicine, indigenous medicine in this particular context, and this becomes an important initiative as far as we're concerned. In the context of INOSEM, that we want to grow what we call the marine school. When we talk about sustainable development, the pollution of marine life with plastic and so on and so forth. This is another good example, and in fact we have already got a request from a minister who wants us to launch this when we do our World Cleanup Day on the 28th of September this year, and we are considering that. In other words, she began to realize that these are initiatives that we have taken, and she wants to support this and also give us some financial support in that particular respect. So I would like to congratulate you, and I want you also to inspire people in Gombak. Sometimes people in Gombak feel that they are the larger campus and therefore they don't need to listen to somebody else. I think it's time for them to listen to other campus at the same time. And I hope these vibrations from Kuantan to Gombak is something that will continue. Certainly we've got two spies here, Prof. Hafiz and Prof. Kamar Zaman. Anything that we talked about in Gombak, they kata, what about Kuantan? Semalam they were not there, somebody represented them. What about Kuantan before Hafiz says this? So we are always constantly reminded that your existence and Gombak existence are almost mutually benefiting one another. As far as this World Tobacco Day is concerned, like I said, it is something that we want to do, not because it is something that we have to do, but it is part and parcel of the Rahmatan lil Alamin that we are talking about, particularly in the Muslim world, particularly in developing worlds. As the developed world understand what tobacco does to them, as they want to reduce the usage of tobacco with a lot more restrictive regulation and monitoring, most of this tobacco are deposited into developing world and also the Muslim world, because our awareness is not there, our legislation is weak, and our regulation is also not up to date. And therefore it becomes our duty in university to make sure that this regulation or the framework that has been agreed on as far as the convention is concerned is something that must be implemented. If it's not within the country, at least within the university that is within our own control to do this. So we must have policies that reflect those things as part and parcel of our aspiration to make tobacco something that do not exist within our campus and among our students in particular. Youngsters normally are the one that is most easily sort of attracted to this, because they look at tobacco as a lifestyle at least once upon a time. But now I think this is something that people are beginning to realize and see that tobacco is not quote unquote a lifestyle that they need to be acquainted with. There are many reasons why we need to do this. I think this year the team, I'm told that tobacco and lung cancer and health as far as generally is concerned. So we know about lung cancer, what lung cancer is all about, and lung is one of the most important organ in our body. It's almost like a garden that gives us aspiration every time when we leave. So unless we look after our lung properly, then perhaps our life will be shortened very quickly as far as that is concerned. So many things that relate to this, but I will not go into this. I think probably Dr. Haniki has mentioned this to you before we talked about, when he talked to you earlier on this issue. I would want to go into something which is more important as far as looking at tobacco and the larger implications of tobacco. I want us to start thinking tobacco is one of the drugs that leads to many other drugs. So in other words, every time when you talk about tobacco, it is always named as a gateway drug. People begin with smoking and then graduated with all other drugs like heroin and all the other hard drugs that actually threatens and kill you in a very short period of time. Now, I think we also need to talk about hard drugs and drug abuse, because this is one of the disease that has plagued our country for 50 years. I started to learn about hard drugs and work with a professor at that particular time, USM, trying to understand what this drug problem is all about. And that was in the 1970s as I was a student. Right now, every day in the news, you will see people now talking about seizure of drugs from everywhere in the country. Drugs that should not be existing in our society now is still available everywhere because it is smuggled through some points within the country. Now, these hard drugs are coming in all sort of shapes and sizes. And therefore, it is easily available in this particular context. Now, we need to raise this awareness not only against tobacco, but against all these other hard drugs that we are going to eradicate at one point, I hope. And the awareness must start within our campus and among our youth. And when we go down to the Orang Asli, for example, they are also, indented with all these issues of glue sniffing, and that is again another route to going to hard drugs. So I would want to talk about not just tobacco-free, but drug-free per se. How do we raise this profile in this particular context? And eventually go to another campaign about how do we control the use of alcohol in our society. If you look at the Western world, alcohol is not easily bought. You cannot buy alcohol randomly the way we see it in this particular country. How do you then raise awareness and to make sure that tobacco are also rigidly controlled and regulated? Because this is part of the intoxicant that is mentioned in the Al-Quran when the Al-Quran talk about Al-Kamar. And we cannot miss this because this is part and parcel of the whole issue that will eventually plague society if we leave it as it is. Being a Muslim country, majority of us are Islam, we also need to raise awareness to among the non-Muslim that this is something is not beneficial from them, although they are allowed to drink alcohol as such. But many religions now, as I talk to my Christian friends, to my Buddhist friend, they are also talking about alcohol as one of the scourge in their own society just because they are allowed to drink alcohol. So we've got a big picture to paint when we talk about just moving from tobacco to other drugs that eventually will be a scourge society as we've moved on if you are not aware of what is happening. So I want you to start thinking about this so that we will enhance this flagship program, not just to tobacco, but to other intoxicants at the same time. I also want you to realize that there are many contradictions within society that we academics must begin to articulate. And one of it is the understanding of what ketum is and what tobacco is all about. I often argue with people that ketum vis-a-vis tobacco, I think ketum is less harmful than tobacco. I've not read any research that people die from using or drinking ketum water, at least not in the numbers of people who died from smoking tobacco, in the millions, right? But yet when you look at ketum, ketum is now under Dangerous Drug Act, if I'm not mistaken. Aniki, is ketum under Dangerous Drug Act together with ganja? Yeah? It's psychotropics, yeah? But tobacco is not. Tobacco is grown in some parts of this country. Tobacco becomes an economic product, although our tobacco, I'm told, is of low quality, but it is grown as part of subsistence economy from many of the rural Malay Muslim population, earning money from tobacco. We have been fighting, at least when I was in USM, that we need to find a substitute for the growth of tobacco. If tobacco is a subsistence crop that gives income to the rural population, then we need to find a subsistence crop so that at the end of the day, the growing of tobacco will stop eventually as a part of an economic product within this country. So these are the contradictions that we need to look at. While we say stop smoking, why do we grow tobacco? Yeah? If we say stop smoking, we should also say stop growing tobacco. Then it becomes consistent in the policy that we see. Academics must look into this and try to find out a solution as far as this is concerned. Nobody else wants to think about this because this is a very easy way of increasing productivity as far as economy in the rural area is concerned. But yet it becomes something that we are not able to rationalize when we talk about what tobacco impact is concerned as far as health, society, and the larger impact on humanity as such. Yeah? So I would like to congratulate you in this steps And I am also told that we are beginning to also launch the Poison Center very soon. And Poison Center and anti-tobacco activities, at least in Malaysia, is something that we do hand in hand. In America, tobacco is not part of Poison Center's activity, but in Malaysia we make it so because we define tobacco as a kind of a poison. And therefore this poison needs to be enhanced in the context of its control, and I think Pusat Racun Negara or Pusat Racun di IIUM ini needs to take a role in trying to interpret and also give information about what this is all about. We have been successful, alhamdulillah, when we launched the quit clinic in Gombak. I think 3 from our security officers are already now becoming non-smokers, and I think there are 6 more in the pipeline. Yeah? So we are encouraging people to stop smoking by supporting them in how to stop smoking, which is not easy. At the end of the day, it is about addiction, and this addiction is something that takes a very long time to sort of get rid of, and we need to support them. And alhamdulillah, I think the Dean was mentioning that there is now a support system within the university that helps people to quit smoking. If not they want to, but I think they have to. Eventually, I think we will create a policy within the university that people who wants to work in the university must be a non-smoker. If they're a smoker, we say, okay, we give you 3 months to quit smoking. If you cannot quit smoking within the university, then you need to leave this university. I think we need to be as hard as that, because I think this is something that we are serious about, and I hope this will be a realization for the university as we move forward. Yeah? So once again, I would like to congratulate you for taking this initiative. Of course, this is an initiative of the School of Pharmacy, but I hope other kuliah at the same time will also support this as far as health is concerned. It is not just within one kuliah, but I think for the whole university as such. The more people that talks about this, I think the better it is for us, and I hope this will be another good flagship for the university as we move on next year to celebrate the World Tobacco Day. I hope we can make some very substantial announcement as to kind of success rate we have within the university in making this tobacco-free what do you call campus. Yeah? And I also would like to remind people who are in the Mahala. We just discovered in Gombak Mahala, a couple of students are using shisha in their own room. And this one happens to be a lady.
Oh.
Yeah? So if you are not careful, this will happen behind closed doors. All right? So you need to keep an eye also. I'm not saying please spy on them, but you need to be aware that these things can take place anywhere and everywhere. I come from a boarding school. I know where it takes place normally. It's above the ceiling. Yeah, they go into the ceiling and they smoke and then they come down. So you need to be a little bit more vigilant as far as this is concerned, so that we really control this particular issue of non-smoking in a very effective way. Yeah. So dengan itu dan dengan lafaz Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, saya merasmikan hari IIUM World No Tobacco Day ini dengan harapan kita akan melakukan satu lagi ibadah yang diredai Allah SWT, bukan saja kerana kita hendak menyelamatkan umat Islam, tetapi umat yang lain juga, dan menjadi salah satu daripada tugas dan amanah yang perlu kita selenggarakan sebaik mungkin. Wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Terima kasih.
Thank you so much, Tan Sri, for the delightful speech. I am certain that all of us get the strong message on the danger of tobacco. Ladies and gentlemen, our program is also on live streaming. I would like to invite Professor Dr. Kamaruzaman Yunus and Associate Professor Dr. Cik Suraya to accompany the Honorable Rector to the stage to accept the gesture that our future generation oppose on the smoking and usage of the tobacco. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the audience, you are encouraged to stand and give a round of applause to show your support to the need of our children. Our clear goal is to raise a generation without tobacco. We have a photograph moment. I'd like to thank you, the teachers and children of IIUM Educare, for their kind cooperation effort. Thank you, children. Thank you, Tan Sri. Okay. Dr. Cik Suraya has something to give you, Tan Sri. A book titled, two books actually. One is called Rahsia Berhenti Merokok, then another one is Haram Merokok. It is written by Associate Professor Dr. Muhammad Haniki himself. Dr. Haniki, if you would like to go upstairs and take a picture with the rector, since you wrote the book. Haram ya, haram merokok ya, Dr. Haniki. Okay, we have now, thank you all. We have now come to the end of the program, and before we adjourn, Tan Sri, you are invited to visit the exhibition booths at the back of this hall, accompanied by all VIPs. Tan Sri will then move to the banquet hall after the visit to launch the IIUM Poison Center. Members of the audience, you are also encouraged as well to visit the exhibition after this. And please be informed that outside the hall, the committee has prepared some packed food for you to grab on your way back. Ladies and gentlemen, we have at the back of the hall the booth of ICOP Sendirian Berhad, Bahagian Farmasi Penguatkuasaan Negeri Pahang, we have Johnson & Johnson. We also have IIUM Nursing Care Service. We have Malaysia Society on Toxinology, Translab Malaysia Berhad, IIUM Family Health Clinic, IIUM Medical Center, Jabatan Kimia Negeri Pahang. We have Agensi Dadah Kebangsaan AADK, and also Dental Public Health KOD. Some of the booth offers health checkup and attractive goodies. You are welcome to visit them after this. They will be here until 1 p.m.